you're very data-driven, right? As a person, right? Or not?
Well, what do you mean by data? Do you mean like looking at?
Well, like someone comes, I want to know why does it work? Show me the data, or you're like, you know what? I think let's just give it a go.
Well, I think I'm not particularly data-driven in the sense that I'm, like, I don't decide on a new product based on, say, consumer surveys or something like that. I try to mentally simulate what the end customer would be like that would want this, and you know, but we don't go do a bunch of consumer surveys, or I don't really ask people.
No. You put yourself in.
Yeah.
You put yourself.
It's really pretty obvious, I think. You know, in the case of Starlink, would people buy low-cost, high-bandwidth, fast internet? Well, yes, obviously. You know.
Yeah, but lots of people say, would they buy an electric car? They say, well, they might, but it's hard to make. Usually, and maybe they will, but I'm going to go and make Tesla and sell 1.2 million.
Well, the thing is that if you listen to surveys of do people want an electric car, you would not. There's no way you'd start an electric car company, because people don't say yes. They're happy with their current car. You know, I think Henry Ford famously said, if you ask people back then what they wanted, they'd say they wanted a faster horse, and they would not have said they want an automobile. And I think there's also a famous survey of would you buy a television? And I think 90% of people said no. So, you know, you got to be. It's because people don't understand what this new thing is that you're offering. So I think you need to be able to imagine how someone would enjoy the product, and if that seems compelling, then I think you should move forward with it.
What a lot of young people in the audience, you know, young creators. What advice would you give to people starting out their careers today? Apart from you're not going to have to work, so
yeah. Well, there'll be obviously a transition period as AI gets better and better. I mean, the companies that will succeed in this transition period will be the ones that most effectively use AI. So if you're doing something and making maximum use of AI and you're competing against someone who is not, you will win.
So the AI is not bullshit, no?
It's not. No, it's getting better very rapidly.
It's going to change things for the better, and one chance in 5, existentially for the worst.
There's definitely some risk. It's an immensely powerful thing. So when something immensely powerful is created.
What's like the best application of AI you've seen, do you think? I mean, how's Grok going and XAI?
Well, I mentioned some of the near-term applications of AI, where you have AI understand a user's interests, and then you match content with that user, both organic content and paid content. You match it to that user. Yeah. That is already happening. TikTok's actually done a great job of that, and then Meta's more or less copied them, and the X platform is doing the same. So those are examples that I think people experience every day. Now we're also seeing incredible image generation, where companies like Midjourney make beautiful images instantly. Now it still takes some skill to get the best pictures out of Midjourney. So there's a talent to creating compelling pictures. You're also seeing video, which is just a bunch of pictures, essentially. So you'll be able to create videos and and can already create pictures that are very compelling. If you need to write something, then the various AI things like Grok or Gemini, ChatGPT can help you write things.
Yeah.
When I talked to my son in university, and he's was like, how many of your classmates are using AI to help them write things? And he said, all of them. It's like, okay.
I thought there was like anti-plagiarism software they could run it through, or they rewrite it afterwards, like cleverly.
Yes, but then there's another bit of software that defeats the anti-plagiarism software.
There's
so
always
like
some more,
spy versus
someone more
spy
clever,
versus spy versus...
someone cleverer than the regulator out there.
Yeah. So
you have anti-plagiarism software that detects the use of anti-plagiarism software against plagiarism, like a reduction to the absurd.
Yep. So that's already being used a lot. I think that there's going to be a significant disruption in internet search because really for internet search you're just looking for an answer. So if the AI can provide you with a better answer than a bunch of links, then you'll prefer that over Google or Bing. So I think there's going to be quite a significant disruption in search.
What about the news business? Who's going to pay for the content on which these models are created, right? Do you think?
Well, I think, so what we're doing on the X platform is we are aggregating, we're using AI to sum up the aggregated input from millions of users. So, I think this is really going to be the new model of news, which is to gather information from people who are at the scene, who are experts in the field, and summarize the experts in the field and people who are in the field at whatever event's being talked about, and aggregate that into a real-time newsfeed. And I think for the most part that will be better than conventional journalism. There's still a role for conventional journalism, but it's
well, someone's got to pay for them, right?
Sorry?
Someone has to pay for it to happen, right?
Well, not necessarily. Like if you look at the X system, and you've got tens of millions of posts per day, which really are all the news content on Earth is, but a far more than what you would find in a newspaper is being generated on the system every day. If you aggregate that in real time, now you've got real-time aggregation of the collective wisdom of tens of millions of people.
Is that why you think truth-seeking is so important in AI?
Yeah, it's one of the reasons. It's also, on the X system, although something may be said that is incorrect, it is very quickly corrected. Whereas a newspaper that is publishing, especially in print form, is publishing what happened yesterday, today. That's, it can't publish any faster than that. And when you read the article, that article could be wrong, often is wrong, but there's no rebuttal to the article. So you don't see any real-time rebuttal. So I think, like I said, there's still a role for conventional news, but it's smaller and smaller over time. It's really what AI is doing and what the internet is doing is aggregating the wisdom of the people.
No.
And the fact is that experts in a field know more than reporters. And people who are at the location where whatever news event is occurring are first-hand observers, whereas the reporter is usually not there. Maybe there's one reporter there. But, I have one of my sons is sort of a bit autistic, like me, I suppose, and chip off the old block. And we were walking through an airport, and he saw a newspaper, and that today's date was printed on the newspaper, and he stopped for a second. He was like, "How did they know it was today's date?" And I was like, "No, they print They print out those newspapers every